Hey YouTube, this is TheKillerNacho again, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to build a Sandstorm team. I built a Sun team, like, a few battles ago, and I'm like, I want to put together a Sandstorm team. So a guy on my AIM who I've chatted with quite a bit named PKMNTrainerVB challenged me. I decided to bring this team, and even though it does have some weaknesses as evidenced by this battle, it turned out to be pretty okay. So anyway, he loses the Clonkador, and I lose my Tyranitar to set up the Sandstorm, but this is not a great matchup, so I go into my royal-ass Nidoqueen. And I'm just going to go for a Earth Power to break this sub, and he ends up having Focus Punch, which is pretty interesting, because Clonkador does actually cause many switches, so he can actually use Focus Punch pretty effectively, and it can be pretty devastating. Look how much damage it did to Nidoqueen, and as I said when I use this in my Sun team, this is a really defensive Nidoqueen. I mean, it's both specially bulky and physically bulky. It just has a lot of bulk. I think it's max HP, maybe max defense, and maybe almost max defense and some special defense. But point is, it did a lot for resistance, so that is definitely a pretty good Clonkador. So anyway, I think he's going to switch. He ends up switching, so that's good. I set up some Toxic Spikes, and this little raptor thing, I forget its name at the moment, but it's a pretty strong rock flying type. It has a lot of attack and speed, so it's a pretty good poke. It's going to Earthquake me, and I take it, but not too well. So I'm going to go into Sal now, because Sal has does not have the weakness to Earthquake, and it is quite a physically bulky Pokemon, and I just want to try to set up Stealth Rocks. And in hindsight, that's probably like a dumb thing, because he does have Fortress on his team, which always has Rapid Spin, but for some reason I'm like, you know what, I bet I could 2 KO Fortress, which is a stupid thing to say, or even think, really, but whatever. He's going to knock off my Leftovers, which is not really great, and I'm going to get the Scald off on Fortress, but it does not look like it's going to be I get a crit, but so it's probably not going to be a 2-hit KO, because if a crit did that much, obviously a not crit won't do as much. So yeah, I have to switch. I go on to Royal Ass, basically, to, I know he's going to Rapid Spin, and at least I'll try to scare him away, or maybe try up the Toxic Spikes again. I thought he might stay in just to go Rapid Spin again to get rid of, my spikes and stuff, but he does predict my Flamethrower, which is a good prediction on his part, and I'd end up Flamethrowing this Flying Bird thing, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, wouldn't be that bad in a Sandstorm team, considering it's Rock type. Anyway, my Flamethrower does absolutely nothing. So I'm going to go out into Sal again, because I'm thinking Earthquake, and it is Earthquake, and looking at my team again, I don't have a lot to take ground, and Nidoqueen is the only thing I have really to take fighting, so it does have some weaknesses. And he's going to use the Acrobatics, and he has that Flying Gem, which is actually a pretty nice combo, because the Flying Gem activates before Acrobatics checks if you have an item, so it actually triples the base power. So Acrobatics does a crap load, and that sucks. So I go out into Neo, kind of hoping I can KO with Psychic. I don't, and he's going to get a knockoff on me, and knocks off my Life Orb, which actually really hurts this Neo, and it's a great name for Alakazam, by the way. But it really does hurt me, because yeah, I mean, Alakazam got a lot better with Magic Guard, which means he can basically go in Sandstorm teams and, in addition, carry Life Orb for free. So Life Orb Alakazam is really powerful in this generation, and I just lost my Life Orb, so that loses quite a lot of power, because my Alakazam is timid, not modest. So anyway, he goes out into Tyranitar. I have the Focus Blast, so I don't really understand. Maybe he didn't think I had Focus Blast, but in any event, I do, so I kill his Tyranitar, and that's just pretty great for me. He's going to go out into this Cofagarius, and I go for the Toxic and miss, and that really stinks, because now he sets up the second Calm Mind. But I feel pretty comfortable in Tentacles. My awesome Cradily. Yes, I'm using Cradily again. Cradily, as some of you remember, some of my favorite Pokemon from, one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 4, so I like using it again. But it has like a million special defense in the Sandstorm, so I'm going to try to set up the Toxic again. I do get it off this time, and he stays in Calm Minds, so I'm kind of thinking this guy probably has the Hidden Power Fighting, to do super effective damage, but even then, I know Cradily has such amazing special defense, I'm really not afraid of it. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to go for a Curse to get my defense up, because I know he still has Clonkador, and after a few curses, I might even be able to take a fighting move from Clonkador, so that's a pretty good thing, because Cradily is one of the most amazing walls in Sandstorm, in my opinion. It is absolutely beast. because as I probably mentioned in a million times before, Sandstorm does give a 50% special defense boost for rock types, so which raises Cradily's natural special defense to obscene levels. So as soon as you get some what's it curses, you're pretty good. So anyway, I kind of figure he's going to attack this turn, so I go for the recover to see how much it would do, and he ends up getting a crit with freaking hidden power fighting, which is kind of a good and a bad thing. It's good because now I'm like, wow, I would be able to take non-crit hidden power fightings like a champ, and that's after like, what, 3 or 4 calm mines. The bad thing is, though, he got a crit, so it means it does more damage. So now he goes for the rest, which I kind of figured he'd have, but at the same time, I don't really care that much, because I'm going to go for a curse, and this will give me, what, 3 free curses, because I get a curse this turn, and then when he's asleep, I'm going to curse up. And after a few curses, I feel pretty confident against this, what's it called? Cophagrius. Even though he does have the super effective move with hidden power fighting, I know that with Toxic, I'm going to force him to rest every couple of turns, and I have more reliable healing in Recover. So that's pretty nice for me. And I'm going to probably win this battle if there's no more hacks, and just probably finish him off with Rock Slide after I get a million curses, because he's basically forced to rest every couple turns. But anyway, I just go for another curse, as I said, and he wakes up next turn, so I'm going to go for the Toxic again, just so he has to, basically, dang it, what's the word? So he has to rest eventually. And he ends up going for the hidden power fighting when he wakes up, and he gets another crit. And I'm like, what the hell, man? What the hell? So he gets another crit, and I basically have to, like, hope that I can survive another hidden power fighting. I do set up the Toxic, which is kind of nice. So right at this point, I'm just kind of begging that I survive the hidden power fighting and able to get off a recover, because he got 2 crits in a row. But wait for it. Hidden power fighting. 3rd freaking crit. I'm like, I don't know I'm pretty mad at this point. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty annoying. I don't know what the chances are of getting 3 straight crits with the same move, but it's pretty low, and I am not happy about that. And that really hurts, because now I have to switch in Fluffy, basically just to die. I need to sacrifice something just to get damage. He can't really go, anything else here but killing me, because if he does try to go for the rest, I'm just going to get free Dragon Dances, and he really doesn't want that, obviously. So he's basically forced to kill me with the hidden power fighting, but at least now I got it to a low enough point that I can finish it off with basically anything, because yeah, even though this thing does have like a million defense, look how well it took a freaking crunch from a Tyranitar. I know my Grounder can come in and finish it off with Earthquake, so thank God for that, but that's a real shame, because my Cradily was doing really nice, but I know not even the best walls can't survive 3 crits, so that's the life, I guess. Anyway, for some reason I thought I wouldn't be able to one-hit KO this Fortress. It's probably like a bad play in hindsight, and I really didn't even think it would have Earthquake, because for some reason I didn't think a Fortress ran Earthquake anymore, but I guess some do. But yeah, I go for a Swords Dance, so now I'm basically guaranteed to kill it, but it does end up being a pretty bad play, because if that Clonkeldor that he has a priority move, it's going to probably kill Grounder, and that's not good. But on the other side, I have a Swords Dance, so I can basically kill anything if he doesn't have it. But he does have the Mach Punch, so yeah, Grounder's going to go down, and that stinks. So yeah, this Conkeldor is really a problem for me now. I go into Neo, hoping I can take a Mach Punch. I do resist it, but as most of you know, Alakazam's defense is absolutely pitiful. So let's see what happens. He does go for the Mach Punch, and I do take it, actually better than I thought I would, so that's pretty nice. I get off the Psychic, which is super effective and will obviously KO Conkeldor, and that is awesome. His last Pokemon is a Starmie, and I do have the Grass Knot, which is like the best move I have really to use against it, and it does not quite KO. And I was just kind of hoping it would be able to without the Life Orb. If I had the Life Orb, it would KO. So, and it doesn't look like there's enough for even the Sandstorm to finish him off, but he has the Life Orb, which means I win, which is awesome. I was so afraid when I saw that it didn't kill that, he would kill my Nidoqueen for the win, but, that's the downside using Life Orb. It can kill you sometimes. But anyway, that was a fun match, despite, the Cradily hacks. Obviously, I still have some things to do for this team. I mean, obviously, you can't deal with fighting too well as ground. I just kind of threw it together because I thought, hey, these Pokemon look fun to use together. But it's a pretty interesting team. I mean, Sandstorm is always pretty viable. And I didn't just want to run a straight Sandstorm team. Like, I definitely wanted to use some underused guys like Cradily and Nidoqueen, so it was a lot of fun. Anyway, so that was a great match, Pokemon Trainer VB. But anyway, like when I posted my Sun team, I want the question of the day to be: what is your favorite Pokemon to use in Sandstorm teams? Obviously, you could go Tyranitar or Hippowdon. I mean, between the two, you basically have to bring one of them. I prefer Tyranitar because I'm more offensively minded usually, but Hippowdon's kind of nice if I need some extra bulk and or if I need Stealth Rocker on my team. Also, obviously, what's it called? Exadrill, that's a really good thing to have in the Sandstorm, but I'm going to answer Cradily because it was one of my favorite walls. It was the original rape monster, and it's just freaking awesome. I mean, just take a look at it in this battle. I mean, even though he basically needed 3 crits to take it down. So, that's pretty darn good. I mean, especially when they're hitting with, +4 hidden power fightings. So, yeah, Cradily is freaking awesome in the Sandstorm, and more people should try it. I guess the downside with Cradily is it does get kind of screwed by common threats like Scizor. Although, after a few curses, it can take Scizor Bullet Punch, so definitely look into it. Anyway, so rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and peace out.